one of the great treats has always been when you get a new script for Downton, when we were filming the show as a series. And then with the first movie, we were like, how's he going to make this cinematic? And of course he did beautifully. And then we were like, can he do it again? And he has. And it's an amazing gift that Julian has to bring to life these characters again, and always seems fresh. And you can read a script of Downton and you could take out the characters' names and you know exactly who's talking because everyone's so individual. So it was great to see how he reimagined Downton and made it fresh again. And we have, the idea of the new world colliding with, the traditions. We have that in relation to the film that comes in, the film within the film. And then again, the Crawleys out of their comfort zone in the south of France. So I was delighted with the story, and Julian's always been very kind to my character, to Tom, and to me as an actor. He's been very, very gracious. So I love what happens to Tom and his journey, and it definitely feels like this is a completion of Tom's story too. The movie opens with Tom finding happiness again with Lucy Smith, and it was a lovely kind of button at the end of the last movie, was Tom and Lucy dancing outside on their own away from the royalty and all the pomp and ceremony, and it picks up with the very happy occasion of Tom and Lucy's wedding. So that was wonderful to shoot as well, and I had my 40th birthday on the day I got married in the show, which was fun. Tom Branson arrived in Downton as the chauffeur in the first series, and originally only hired for 3 episodes, but delighted to say that he's still around and in the movie, and in this movie too, in the 2 movies. So he arrived as the chauffeur, fell in love with the youngest daughter, Sybil Crawley, eloped, ran away to Ireland, came back, got chased out of Ireland. Wife died, stays in the house, has to stay in the house, becomes estate manager, starts to run the estate against his own will, really. He doesn't really want to be there. He doesn't really agree with the class system. He's a socialist. Gets worn down by the family. Basically, Tom's journey is about finding acceptance and accepting himself. And what's great about the new movie as well is he does find himself and in his new relationship as well with Lucy Smith. So all the way up. So Tom has gone from a very revolutionary socialist to a very, very distraught widow to estate manager to definitely now part of the family. Tuppence Middleton plays Lucy Smith, who's now Lucy Branson in the new movie, and it's great. It's actually the now 3rd time that we've worked together. We did The Imitation Game many years ago, and then obviously in the first movie, and I'm delighted to see that Julian has kind of completed their story and brought them together. She's a brilliant actress and great fun to be around. It's lovely to be part of an ensemble. I mean, and that's exactly what Downton is. It is a true ensemble of incredible actors that we're so lucky to have and to be able to get back together to do this movie. It's always been a joy, and it does, I know it sounds a bit cliche, but we really are like a family. We've enjoyed all of this success out of nowhere with the first series, and the fact that it's still going and it's still so loved by the fans is really special. And it's been such an important part of, I think, all of our lives. And anytime we get to get back together, it's just a real treat. Downton itself, just as a show, has been a great gift. But then any time that you get to work with a true cinematic legend like Maggie is a gift, and she's always been so kind and very gracious and giving as an actor to all of us, I think. And every day's a school day, I always say that, but it really is. You watch Maggie work and it's a joy. I'd happily not get paid. Don't tell Carnival or Focus, but I would happily be on set with her every day and just watching how she kind of works. And then that character has now become so kind of symbolic of her within her career. And it's a testament to who she is as an actor. She's created someone who, on the page, is written as quite a vile person, but you can't help but love her. And the one thing that I've really learnt is Maggie is as quick, if not quicker, than the Dowager Countess off set as she is on. It's definitely something that everyone was aware of in every department, in the crew and the cast, that when you're making something for the theatres, for cinema, everything has to just kind of take a step up from the TV show. Not saying that the TV show didn't look beautiful and opulent, but there is that sense of, I guess, an extra level of awareness that we have to fill the big screen, and whether it is Donal Wood's design or Andrew Dunn, who was our cinematographer, what he did and what looks so beautiful again. And I think it's even a level up from the first movie, not to take anything away from the first movie, but it definitely feels richer and more cinematic. And I think that it's something that every time that we keep coming back to Downton, we want to make it better. We want to make it more of an experience for people to enjoy. So I definitely feel that everyone, again, has come to the table with the idea that we did so well with the first one. Now, how do we even make this better? Simon's always been part of the family purely because he's Elizabeth's husband, Elizabeth McGovern, who plays Cora. So he's always been there, and he's always been a great champion of us and the success of the show. So it was a real pleasure to have him there. And he, of course, immediately became part of the family because he already is part of the family. And there was even a shorthand in how he could talk to us as a cast because we've known him for so long. And he knows the characters so well, and he knows us as actors so well, that it really was just delightful to have him there on set, and someone that he had such a clear vision of how he wanted to make this movie Downton, but also a Simon Curtis movie. And I think that really comes across, and he's done such a beautiful job. I think people will really enjoy it and be very aware that it's very unique from what people have enjoyed of the show before. To quote Julian Fellowes, it's lightning in a bottle. I mean, I wish I knew, and so does Julian, because he said he'd just keep doing it over and over. I think we were so lucky, and I was so lucky to be part of this cast, but to get the calibre of actors that we did with that high level of story writing as well, and the fact that he is so precise in how he writes these characters, that there's something for everyone to love in this show and hate and to get invested in. And I always find that amazing that even, especially during the pandemic, people getting in touch via social media or even just writing letters, that it seems to be something that it's also generational, that people can enjoy whether they're 11 years old or they're 90. People really kind of warm to Tom as a character, I think, because, as Julian has said before, he's kind of the tour guide within Downton, because he's discovering this world in the same way that the audience are too. He's a fish out of water who's trying to figure out both the dynamics and the traditions and the rules and the etiquette. And I really feel very lucky that I got to be that character that kind of went on this journey that the audience were going on as well. What Downton is great at is it is pure indulgent escapism. And after the year and a half or 2 years that we've had, I think it's what people need. They need something where they can kind of get lost into a completely different world. And a lot of the time people say to me that it was a simpler time. I don't know if that's true, but people certainly, I think, look with such great nostalgia at that period in British history as well, and with these characters, that I think it's a great opportunity to get lost back in a world that people remember so fondly.